What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Stationeers. I'm actually really happy with this vent system, by the way. I haven't worked out the cooling part yet, but as far as the automation of cycling out the air, it seems to be working really well. We do have another problem, however, and that's in this room, which I gotta remember to turn the vent off. I need to automate this. I need to have a, Airlock Controller or something set up here, because I always forget to turn this vent off, and when I open this, the whole room empties. But as you can see, even right here, right next to the vent, we have 11 kPa, so basically, we don't have enough CO2 in here. That's kind of the problem I'm running into, is the more plants and stuff you use, they give off oxygen, but they consume CO2, and I don't have a surefire way to generate that at the moment, at least. So I did hear about something where if you mixed... something weird. It was something that didn't scientifically make sense, and it was something where I guess everybody on the forums and stuff was just kind of saying it's a game, so they had to find some way to make it work. But I think it was something like if you mixed H2O and N2 or H2, something, and it turned into either N2O or CO2 or something like that, and everyone was kind of like, huh? You know? But yeah, I tried to smelt up a bunch of stuff. I ended up I smelted like all of my iron, all of my copper. I think silicon will give us more CO2. Let's try that. Give me this. I'm actually not seeing any more. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, silicon gives you some. But yeah, and you'll also notice the UI has changed a little bit. I didn't actually like this at first. I mean, it was a little more convenient, but I was so used to doing it the way that I'd done it before. It was actually a little bit weird to get used to. I'm really not sure why this works either, why you can't combine stacks. That's kind of odd to me, because you can do it with other stuff. Like if you grab this and you split it, like this, and then you drop it, you can pick it back up in the same thing. So I'm like, I don't really get why it won't let me pick that up. The ingot thing not stacking is something that I feel needs to be changed. It's just weird. Did I do anything else? I don't think so. But I smelted up a ton of stuff, so as you can see, I actually only have 25 iron left. I used a ton of it for the next part that I'm going to show you. Yes, it might have something to do with why this panel's on the floor. But the actual UI thing that they've done is kind of cool. The one thing that's a little confusing is before, if I opened my backpack with 3 and then I clicked 5 for my belt, the other one would close. That's probably been the hardest thing for me to get used to, is you have to manually close everything. Is that silver? And that I kind of love, what I did right there. In case anyone's not familiar with it already. I kind of have gotten to where I love the drag and drop. Still has the hand control type system, but if you were, if you hold left alt, now you have kind of like control over things, and you can just click and drag things into your inventory. You can still use it the other way if you prefer. But like this is why I don't like this. It's not the hand switching. It's that I have to scroll to the slot that I want, and this way you can just grab it and drop it where you want it. So I do kind of like that. Alright, and I think I saved it. I think it's time to unveil this. I don't remember what I need. Yeah, I need the crowbar. There we go. I was gonna say, I was like, it's not actually rushing through. Now, I will have to double check this, because I very well could have not finished this when I stopped last time. Let's see. Okay, there's that. Gimme. Thank you. Oh, I forgot about this. Alright. Let me double check, because I'm not sure if I actually did this right. I may have... I was playing off camera, and so I stopped. And I thought I was done. Maybe I wasn't. Do I need the grinder? I just did this a second ago. Yeah. Alright, give me that. And then we need a wrench. And that should be... okay, no, I didn't do that. I didn't fix it. Alright, I need to fix that. Okay, now we can proceed. Like so. Let's see. Whoop! I'm getting stuck. Alright, so we'll throw those on the floor. And let's go ahead and pull this up. Oh, wow, okay, that got... There is a very powerful vacuum going on over here. Let's see if we can get rid of that. And then this. Bingo. Now we're clear. And it should just be filling up. I think I actually fixed all of this. I don't have any lights or anything going down here yet. This is kind of a very, very, very work in progress situation. But yeah, so if we go down here, this is my new underground room. For what, you may ask? I have no idea. If I'm being really honest, I really don't. It should be sealed. I think. All of these are double welded iron frames, so there shouldn't be anything, though I do remember hearing something about, sometimes if you left earth in the blocks that it would still kind of leak. And I see particles going this way, and I don't see the KPA building up. But when I tested this before, it actually worked okay. So I'm thinking it's just taking time. My guess... Okay, this just turned on. I was going to say my guess was that... actually, I don't know... I think it ends up filling up, though. Let's go down and check if it's past 1. Okay, it is past... No, not really. It's not, actually. I don't know. I'm going to leave it go. I saved it right before I broke all that stuff, so if it's actually leaking somewhere... tell you what, let's actually grab this guy. And then we'll grab our drill, and let's just... Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Let's just clean up this a little bit, I guess, and see if that might help things. Because I was honestly trying to keep this underground, and it didn't really work. Once I started actually expanding all of this to like a 5x5 room, or is it 3x5? 3x5. When I did it that way, it's kind of sticking out, so I didn't really want to excavate more of the ground than I had to, but I think I'm going to have to. So, because I'm really not seeing the KPA build up any, so I want to see if this works, or if it's just an over-the-time situation, because all of this is sealed, like it, unless there's a corner issue or something. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't know if air can get out of the corners or not. I don't think they can, but I don't know. I'm definitely not the science expert in this situation here. I mean, I definitely enjoy the sciencey setup of the game, but I would definitely be lying if I said I knew exactly what I was doing. Alright. I'm not thinking this is working. I think I have a leak somewhere. Because, believe it or not, I actually found an interesting... I hope it's not that ore. It keeps going this way. But, if the particles can be trusted. But I actually found out, like, if you dig, but you keep... If you basically dig into the earth and everything up to the ground is airtight, the ground itself will actually make an airtight barrier, which is kind of cool. In case it's not really clear what I'm talking about... Come on, that bothers me too. I can't ever figure out where to drill clear this stuff. It's still going that way. And if I sound a little off or hoarse or anything, I think I'm fighting a bug. So just bear with me. Fighting and winning, but fighting. And speaking of behind-the-scenes stuff, I hope to have a more regular revised schedule set up, and I'll probably talk about it a bit in a podcast episode or something later this week. I'm hoping towards the end of the week or something like that. Because I think I'm getting an idea with the new kind of paradigm that I've got going on, how I might be doing stuff, and as just kind of a, I guess, teaser. I mean, it's not really, but I guess if you want to call it that. Yeah, I can't figure this out because it worked. Oh! That's probably why. These aren't airtight. Hold on. Let me make sure that's what it is. Yeah, okay, so those numbers are significantly better than what I was getting before. Oh, man. So yeah, that I just went over and placed a wall there. Actually, what I could do now that I'm looking at it, I couldn't do it before because I needed to seal it up first. But now that it's sealed, I could actually put one here. And that would add a little bit more decorative look. And then I can remove the one outside, and it'll be flush with the rest of the blocks. So, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing down here. I just wanted to expand a bit. I think I actually want to make a mining area. And the reason I say that is because... which means I probably should put an airlock or a door right here, at least temporarily, so that I can pull the atmosphere out of this room so that I can work on going into a mine airlock, is what I think I should probably do. I'm wondering if I actually need an airlock and control and all that stuff, or if I could just do doors with the airlock controller. Let's see, what did I have here? We have an active vent, we have a passive vent. And that toggles this so that would work a little bit better. And then we have a gas sensor to tell if the pressure's there, and we have the controller there. Okay. This is on its own power unit. Okay. How much does an airlock actually cost? Because I don't remember if I have an extra door laying around or not. Did I pass it? Autolay the atmospherics airlock. There we go. It doesn't tell me unless I turn it on. Pooh. Oh, it's gonna make one, but I need 20. Can I cancel that? Oh well. It's done now. I need more iron now, though. Alright, what do we have in here? I have a solid generator. I have a door. I wonder if I can use a door and an airlock. We have a passive vent. Floor grading, tool manufacturer. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. If I actually need the tool manufacturer and electronics printer, or can I kind of scrap all this with a fabricator? I know... I believe it's the fabricator is slower than the rest. But I was kind of wondering about that. So we're at 50 here, so that's turned off. So we've still got pressure going down here. What's the pressure end up down here? Not bad. It's about 44 at the furthest point away from the vents. So I'll probably need to set up something similar that I did down there. Or, I mean, up there. I'll probably have to set up some kind of similar airlock control type. Not airlock control, but a vent system. But at the moment, all I'm really worried about is what pressures down here we need to be able to pump back into here so that if we open this wall up and start creating a a secondary airlock kind of thing for a mining tunnel type area. Because the thing that I realize is I'm doing a lot of surface mining, but I've never really dug down into the moon itself. And there's probably a lot of ore and stuff down there that I've yet to find. And it might be a little easier than running around on the surface looking for stuff. So I kind of wanted to make a mine shaft type thing. So that's what I probably need to work on an airlock first. And if you guys know of ways to get CO2, let me know. CO2 seems to be the thing that I can't ever find enough of for sustaining plants. I need some kind of loop that will keep the CO2 in there enough and something generating it. And other than smelting stuff, I can't seem to find enough of it. I know there's like oxides and volatiles, I think, have some of it in there too, to some extent. But I haven't really found a surefire way to like mix and generate the stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna work on building an airlock, and I might have to go mining though, because I don't think I have enough iron to do that right now, especially if I want a second airlock door and not just a door. I may do a door right here, is kind of what I'm thinking. I might do a door here with some kind of vent switch and have a I'm thinking, this is what I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking a passive vent here, an active one here, that's just set to pull in. Because if I open this door, this will flood in, and this is constantly pressurized. So I don't really need a two-way airlock here. So what I'm kind of thinking is just kind of like we did with the hydroponics room, but even less so. Just put the door here, active vent, passive vent, set it to pull in, and then we can just drain this room, and when we open it, it'll just, flood the room again. Because we really shouldn't need that vent system once I get an airlock set up over here, or over here. I might do it over here, actually. We really won't need an airlock for this room. It can just be part of the main room. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is it daylight out? If it's daylight, I might go do some mining. I think it is. Awesome. So yeah, anyways, I started to talk about the schedule stuff. I'm thinking I'll discuss it at more length in the podcast episode that should be out later this week, or towards the end of the week, but at the moment, I'm kind of thinking a situation of Monday through Friday doing episodes, which would be like Space Engineers, Elite, Stationeers, Feed the Beast, and the Inspiration series is kind of what I'm thinking. And if I might end up changing up my what is this? This is coal? Oh, I didn't pick up a battery. Oh well. But I'm kind of thinking what I would end up doing is a situation where I'll probably record 2 weeks worth of episodes in 1 week, aka 10 episodes, or technically 9, I guess, because I have to do the Inspiration series every week. I can't bulk record that because of the obvious of I end up having to wait for people to make more ships and post new content and stuff for me to show off. So since it's not really on me to make and build and do stuff, then that one I kind of have to wait on. But what I'm thinking is if I can bulk record 2 weeks worth of episodes, then it'll basically be, you guys will see constant daily episodes, but it'll be kind of, for me, a week on, week off, and it'll let me have a week to work on projects and other behind-the-scenes stuff like my book and Dog Squad and things of that nature still, but then you guys will be able to get daily episodes, is kind of the idea, at least through the weekdays. Unless you guys would prefer weekends. If you guys watch more YouTube stuff on the weekends and stuff, then I might change out when I release content and stuff. But overall, I'm thinking 5 episodes a week. With the exception of, I may do stuff like, yeah, I can't talk. Oh, wow. I got a lot of iron out of that. I may do things such as the programming series or anything like that that's a little bit less daily type content and a little more scripted and have to kind of work at it and make sure it's working before I What was that? Oh, the R menu comes up over there too now. I forgot about that. That confused me. I was like, what was that about? So that's what I'm thinking. Again, I'll discuss it at more length in the podcast. But I'm thinking that's kind of something similar. So you can go ahead and give me your preliminary thoughts and let me know what you think. Another thing that I'm going to end up going over at length in the podcast is I'm definitely feeling like my Patreon is getting neglected. Not by you guys, but by moi. As in, there really aren't any tier things. There's no really rewards. There's no real big goals. I mean, there's big goals, but I've got a couple ideas because I've had some people mention multiplayer for Space Engineers and like Feed the Beast would be cool to have it as a server and stuff like that. And it gave me the idea of possibly setting those as Patreon goals, that if I can get to a point where my Patreon is essentially going to cover the cost of running a server, then I may end up doing like an open public server type thing. Ooh, gold. I need to get gold. This is another cool thing about the way this is set up now, that you can actually drag from one inventory to another because... Oh, I can't put anything else in there, okay. Because of the way it's set up. So that is kind of cool. It takes some getting used to. It's a little weird, but I do think overall it is a better system. I like that they have both, though. I like that you can still scroll wheel if you want to, if that's your preferred, like... you know, that's the way I started playing, so I prefer it that way. But if you need to, or decide you'd like the new one, then you can. I really like how they did that. I'm as an aspiring developer myself, I can appreciate when developers don't limit players' options. So I do think that's cool. That's something that Caden Red Pearl and I have discussed at length when it came to ideas and spitballing for designing our own games. It was stuff like, you know, having a lot of options. It was like, don't just do one thing kind of thing. It's better to appeal to multiple different groups in that regard. So, because I know a lot of people really liked the inventory type system of Stationeers. I almost said Space Engineers. Of Stationeers, because it was unique. You know, you had to swap hands and select different stuff and make sure that you put the different items in your hands and had to hold them to use them and do different things, stuff like that. And so I know a lot of people were afraid if they changed it, it wouldn't make it as unique. And so I could see where some people would be annoyed or upset by that. But I think it's a good idea to do both. That they kept the original style, but then for other people that were found it cumbersome or time consuming to do inventory management, you could do it that way. Because I agree with it. I like the uniqueness and the idea, but I do think the way it was executed was a little bit cumbersome. It wasn't necessarily clunky. It was just a little bit difficult to work with. There was times where you wanted to do something really simple and it still took you a lot of effort to make sure you swapped it. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. Wrong button.
Critical. Oxygen.
You can also do that now too. I got it, lady. Thank you. That was a bad idea. Got it.
Low pressure.
Got it. Thank you. I also found that out though, that if you were to hit like the 1 key or something like that and then hold the Alt button, you can actually access all of these as well. So we're gonna lock our mask because yeah, that's the thing. Do I have anywhere else I can put anything? I really don't. What is this? Oh, this was another set of stairs that I never ended up using. That's funny. I really want some of these volatiles. Oh well. So I'm going to go back and do some building and work on some stuff. But I figured while I was out here mining, I meant to actually briefly touch on that, and it went a little longer as per the usual for me. I'm trying to shorten my episodes a little bit so they're not like 40 minutes or something. So I'm going to try and go make some progress on the airlock down here and see what I can come up. There's copper too. I want that too. I need the oxides though. I need more gases. So I'll be back when I have more work on the airlock done. Alrighty, so I've been setting up some stuff. I'm actually really surprised. I must have done a lot more mining than I thought because I made all this scrap and never had to leave. I thought I was going to have to go do more mining, but I didn't. So I spliced into this power cable here that we had running here that went over this away. And oddly enough, I wanted to point this out. There was a junction, if you'll recall, pointing out here that went to nothing, and otherwise it was just a straight cable. I cut that. And obviously this light went out because that's what this was running to, but my arc furnace turned off for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So I ran the cable along here and down through here to an area power controller so that that was separated. And then I had a... you can't really see it actually. I hope this works. Okay, good. So then I have the power cable running down here to a junction that goes to the door, and then into this block and around here to this vent, in theory. Looks like it. So basically, what I ended up doing here was, because this room had pressure in it and I couldn't use this to seal it all off, I had to go out from the outside, and unfortunately, I don't like messing with the terrain when I'm trying to make something that looks cool in the terrain. Why are the particles all going that way now? That's weird. Odd. But so I put two walls here so that I could go up through the ground and basically break that cube, that frame, and connect up the piping and the wiring. So, if we get everything in here and we close this, if I set this to pull and turn it on, it should fill up out there and empty this room. Wow, the particles are going this way, I don't really know. This passive vent, I don't have a pipe set up to, but this is essentially going to be, I think I want to put my, actually, you know what? Let's turn that off. And then, what are we at, 50? If I open this, it should, yep, come flooding back in. Okay. It's not ideal because it's not really an airlock, so you get all this back pressure that's pushing us out of the way and everything, which is not, it's not great. But it works. And it's cheaper than doing an actual airlock setup for now. And really, like I said, eventually I could actually just leave this door and take this whole vent setup off once we get this setup, and it could basically just be a door. It doesn't really need to be an airlock at all. But for right now, it's a way to preserve some of our gases that we've built up. So the next step is going to be, I think I'm going to do it here, not here. But, well, I don't really know. I could make a uber makeshift airlock, which would basically be like walls kind of thing. Yeah, you know, I'm venting this. I shouldn't be. I didn't really think this through because I need more stuff, I think. Let's open this back up. I need more stuff because I either need to put like 2 walls here and then put the airlocks here and then go through this part and go down, which I might actually do. I actually think that's what I'm gonna do. That seems like the cheapest way to do it. So let me see if I can set that up. Alrighty, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure we've got everything set up the way that it's supposed to. So let's go check. So I have all this. Obviously, I did move this back by 1. Because I realized that I needed the iron frames to mount stuff on. I was trying to do it on the floors and stuff, and it was not working at all. So I found that it was easier to do it on item frames where I can, or iron frames where I can mount stuff. And then once I did that, I was like, well, there's one there, one there, one there, and one there that was sealing off the room. Like over here, it would be like placing one right here, and you're covering up 4 iron frames with this one frame. And so I was like, well, I was going to do an iron wall here, but if I've got a frame here already, let's just take these other 4 out, and, or in this case, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. and then I could just seal up one. So I ended up getting quite a bit of iron sheets and iron frames back, because I just decided to do both sides. So it brought this in by one, but meh, whatever. Again, this really shouldn't be too necessary at this point. I closed this off. I did find a weird bug where I can put stairs. There's stairs down here, right next to this block. But if the stairs were there, I couldn't place the airlock. But once the stairs were gone, I could place it, and then once the airlock was in place, it didn't have a problem putting the stairs back, so I don't know what that was about. So the last thing I need to do, I ran out of cable, is we need to hook up the gas sensor and the, the vent. And in case you weren't aware, most of you probably already know, but I just routed the pipe over and down one and then over into here, and the cable is split off here, and then it runs through that and up to this guy, which is a corner that runs over to this, which is a junction that runs to this power controller. So it's all on the same power controller at the moment. But for ease of use, let's go ahead and make sure we have everything labeled. So this got changed, this got changed. So what I was doing was mining airlock, and from here I can probably just copy that and then put interior. This will be exterior. And just, I don't know if I need to or not, but just for future proofing, let's do gas sensor, because if we ever do this through logic or something, it'll just make it easier. Console. I actually could just do this, I guess, and then just be done with that. And I don't think I need to label anything else like the passive vent or anything like that. So that should be fine. So yeah, I have it saved here, but let's go ahead and switch you on. And I gotta remember how to do this. So glass door. So let's set mining airlock exterior to exterior. Mining airlock vent. Gas sensor sensor. Why can't I click that? Oh well. Interior. Oh. Oh. Wait. No, you're backwards. What are you doing? Dagnabbit. I hate setting these up. Wait, did that? I don't want that on. Do I? I'm so confused now. Okay, so I have a vent, I have the exterior, I have the sensor, I have the interior. Let's pull that. This is gonna be bad. Cancel pressurization. Okay, that opens. Okay, so that's good. Oh, and I did find that out as well. So if, let me do it with this. So if you go to, just another little inventory tip, if you go to drag, you'll notice it has a slash and a downward arrow, and then this is a swap, and this is a an inventory. But if you do this, it'll just drop it. So that does make it easier if you're wanting to drop a bunch of stuff. Just a little quick note. So, cycle to exterior. Let's see what happens. So this should close, and this should pull everything out. Good. Good, 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 good. And then this should open. Perfect. Yeah, so see, we have a, I need my drill. We have the stairs here. But for some reason, it's a little weird to me, but it wouldn't let me put the stairs there until the airlock was already there. It was like, if the airlock was there, or wasn't there, and I put the stairs in place first, it would not let me put the airlock down. And I don't know how I want to deal with this. I don't know if I want to put a ramp here or something like that. Let's give ourselves a little bit more breathing room. Pun intended, I guess, considering that we're in a vacuum at this point. Alright, let's open that up a little bit. I don't really want to poke a hole, so I don't want to dig too high up, but I did want to kind of get that silver out of there, since it's right in my face. Alright, that should be good. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe just a frame here would probably be enough, just to give us a little bit of a platform to walk on. Maybe. Now I need my tool belt. That one is a little bit annoying, I'll admit. Switching out all your tools and stuff can be a little annoying, but I feel like just that right there kind of demonstrates a little bit of why this is kind of cool. The drag and drop thing. So I only did one there because we really don't need it to be pressurized. We just need to be able to walk on it. So now at this point, if we cycle to the interior... Oh, you know, the only thing I didn't think about was unless that door's open. Did I leave it open? Okay, then we should have plenty. I was going to say, I don't know if there's enough pressure in this room to fill it up to 100, but I think there is. Because it's like a 5 block... What is it? Now, going this way, it's 3x4. So there should be, and if this is at 50 kPa, then it should be fine. So yeah, we have a new mining airlock, which is cool. So yeah. As far as what we're going to do moving forward, I'm open to suggestions. What are some things you guys might want to see? You want to work on more, maybe an underground hydroponics? I kind of want to keep hydroponics where it is, because I'm having enough trouble with carbon that the extra sunlight and stuff is probably good where it's at. I don't really feel like moving it around is going to do us any good. Maybe a more storage or an auto mining. That might be a good idea. We've got the fabricator up here, which we might end up moving, and maybe move our furnace and arc furnace and stuff down into this area, and maybe set up some kind of automated smelting or something. Somebody once suggested a dump. Like, I could walk in, dump all of the ores, and it would just cycle it either into storage or to an auto smelter and then to storage, something like that. So let me know what you guys think about that idea, or if you'd like to see more of an exploratory, perhaps, like maybe we go mining down underground. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, keep an eye out for the next podcast one, which will probably be later this week, probably going into more detail about what will be and end up being the new schedule and Patreon changes and things like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, we're going to wrap things up here. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.